Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie, and tonight is another amazing episode. You want to definitely get your friends and family around. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this because my guest is just going to blow you away. And she has a gift for you as well. So just stay tuned to the end. So without further ado, let's bring on Dr. Yolanda Nollie. How are you this evening?
I am fantastic, Coach Stephanie, and honored to be on your show.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's been a pleasure knowing you for years virtually, and just to be able to have this virtual exchange is just amazing. So I'm so thankful that you are here tonight. And so let's just get started. Can you tell us who is Dr. Yolanda Nollie?
Absolutely. So my journey started in the Navy right after I got out of college, and I wanted to start my journey. I wanted to go see the world. I wanted to go meet different people. Always inspired by meeting different personalities, different places, and I started out, as just going through life and thinking about the arts and media. My father was in the military, retired military himself, Army, and it's surprising because I'm the only female, but I have brothers, and I'm the only one that went into the military. So, but I went into the military, because I have a lot of respect for those who served and those who gave
Yes,
gave their their presence for our country. And
yes.
yes, and so from there, I majored in the arts at American Intercontinental University, and that's when I really honed my skills in the marketing and the marketing area of the arts and fashion marketing and design. And then after that, I went on to study journalism and
Okay.
communications, and that's where I uh, posed my degree in journalism and communications at City College, and that's where I received my doctor's degree in that area.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah.
Okay,
And
congratulations.
thank you. And I recently, maybe 3 months ago, received my PMP and my CSM. So there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of pivoting because I really, because I really got excited about it, because this is a way to help really bring structure into the planes of media and entertainment, and strengthen anything that's a weakness. And that's what pretty much these scrum certifications is all about. And PMP, project management, is about bringing structure and showing where all the weak spots and strengths are. But we want to focus to make sure that we see the world map, the bigger picture, so that we can go and say to our teams, or just one, or just solo, if you're doing it solo, and just see where you need to begin, where a
Okay.
person needs to begin uniquely, and
Yeah.
building out that structure. It's like going in and getting a health checkup.
Yeah.
Basically, you're going in, the doctor takes his stethoscope. He doesn't know really what's wrong with you yet. He
Right.
has to talk to you first and see what the symptoms are, to find out what's the underlying reason you have those symptoms. That's what that's exactly what an audit is. You're auditing, what's the underlying weaknesses that's causing causing the business, or the creative, to plateau.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's true. That's nice. Thankful that you put that together. So
You.
before we talk more about what you do, let's start about your humble beginnings. What inspired you to do what you do?
My grandfather, because I have family in Atlanta. And my grandfather, he was, in the military as well. He was a Vietnam veteran, and he served, and he was a hard worker, and all his life working at, Fort Myers, and also working as a as a supervisor for many years and so forth in Atlanta. No, I'm sorry, Lockheed Martin, and he was the guiding one of the guiding supervisors there as well. So he's always led. He's always led. He's always was able to lead a team and lead them to success. And I used to watch him all the time executing things. But when it comes to why I the structuring part, it was because of every birthday he would always come by and give me art supplies and say, you know what, you are really strong in this area and I'd love for you
Wow.
to continue that momentum. So every birthday I always receive sketchbooks and art media, and I have a plethora of paintings and drawings and
Beautiful.
architectural drawings and so forth over there in Atlanta still that my uncle has. And my uncle, he was also in architectural design as well. And he
Ah,
actually has some of his work that resembled Good Times painting
yeah.
that's hanging in the Atlanta Museum, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Wow.
So,
That's
so
great.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. And so that really, propelled me to want to go and into that realm of the arts, anything that has to do with creatively, whether it's writing. I'm also a screenwriter too. I've written several screenplays,
Yeah.
and um, my wonderful mentors like Bruce Nahan, and I know several Bruces in entertainment and media. One of them, he's actually a retired entertainment lawyer. He's just a wonderful guy, known for years. He was also the founder of Chippendales, co-founder,
Okay. Okay.
and I mean more than the late Paul Curiazzi. And so they were all, very inspiring to the journey of understanding the pitfalls and the pitfalls of people that that never actually made it, or they plateaued in the industry with like studios that never that never got to the acclaimed status as more as these Angel Studios or
Right. Right.
Sony and so forth. So basically I wanted to help bring that structure of the PMP and the Scrum Master structure into that realm. So therefore, we talk. They'll book a discovery call, and we'll have a discussion, and I give them a free assessment. Usually, people charge arm and a leg for a for an assessment
Right.
over $1,000 or more, because they're going through all the ins and outs, the weaknesses, the strengths of that business or that project.
Right.
And I offer it at 400, but actually the offer that I'm giving to all the listeners for those listening to your podcast, I'm doing it for $149. So just for those who listen in, to do a master audit, and this is the best deal that's going right now that I want to offer, so that they can really get a chance to get
Right.
their world map started, and find out where they're plateauing, where the strengths, and and resources that they could start to build upon, and so forth. So that's what I'm offering right now to your audience. This is the best of going. This is a holiday bonus, people. So it's the holiday bonus, to elevate your career, to elevate. So because you, one of the key things that I've noticed, such as from my past clients for Pure Cinema USA, which is a Christian organization
Okay.
that started in the UK, and she was trying to build this off, get it going for 10 years. 10
Ooh,
years. And I'm thinking like, this is the UK. This is Shakespeare, and this is Rembrandt, and near Paris, and it's not going. But she stated that there are not many Christians out there in the UK, so
wow.
that really worship Christianity. They're very liberal, sort of
Okay.
like California, very liberal, free, and they believe they don't have that structure. Maybe a few Catholics, but not many. Um, So she said that the market, she felt the market was in the US. And so we started to go through, the consultations and so forth, and that she was investing in with me, along with me, um, and through my consulting. And I proposed to her, I said, well, this is such an amazing, we need more Christian theaters. There's not many out there. There
Mhm.
are a few, but I said, this one, I mean, like, yes, we have Angel Studios, we have, ICBM, which is a Christian organization that has many people that now, like Kevin Sorbo, he's a amazing man. Had a conversation with him, and he agreed. Yeah, this is why he changed his route to Christian film and so forth. So building it out, she had it as a for-profit. I said, well, this is where we need to change it. We need to change this to be a nonprofit. Let's get that
Oh,
501c3. Let's get that, and see how we change, because I think people will be even more ready to go on board if you get the 501c3 and move
right.
it and shift that idea, and then start it in Florida, because Florida is one of the states that you can really build a business for, at minimum. At minimum, it's harder in Atlanta.
Wow. Didn't know that.
And it's also, in New York, it's even plus harder, but you have people more avid to help you. Not I, in New York City as well. So as we were deliberating and discussing different parallels to go to, I said the ultimate thing, and I'm going to be honest with you because I'm very straightforward and straight shooter. And I said that right now, you need to know that this is not going to happen overnight to get a brick and mortar. She always laughed when I said that. I said, well, brick and mortar, a building, people to come into and watch these amazing Christian films, family
Mhm,
films, wholesome films.
mhm.
So anyone can go to purecinema.org and find it. She also made me her VP, but I recently stepped down because basically I was just there to fill that space
Right,
for
right.
someone else to come in, because that's not really my realm. It's PMP and CMS consulting. So, and then she got paired with David Hebner. If the Christians know who David Hebner is, I actually interviewed him on the red carpet,
Mhm.
and he has an award winning Christian television series, and
Oh,
a lot of people didn't know that he actually renovates buildings and old churches and make them new again. And I said, well, how come your audience doesn't know that? Come
right.
on, let's talk about it. So, and he says, his wife said, yeah, he doesn't build them himself, but he has a crew that comes in and does that. So I said, well, there's your in. I said, would you be willing to and interested? Because she's trying to get a building, and voila, it was a match, and now she's got her, her theater. Now she's getting her theater, and I thought, there you
Wow.
go. It took a while. It didn't happen overnight, but it's a start. It's a start, and it was a good pairing partnership. We interviewed the president of ICBM, and
Mhm.
it got over 1,000, almost 2,000 views, because it
Wow.
was Christian. We asked for God to intervene in, not only his life, but the viewers as well, and
Yeah.
talked about all the wonderful things that ICBM does for those who want to go the Christian film realm, avenue,
Okay.
and so they have, and so much more, but this is more or less, we had to find the where were the weaknesses, and I said, for profit. It was a for-profit. I said, we need to change it and
Right.
make it nonprofit,
Wow.
guaranteed. And it's not. And I said, it's not going to happen overnight, because it's very expensive to create this model with a film, to get together a film theater and get enough money to
Okay.
to cultivate that. It's $2,000 per screen to have
Woo.
it, just for the screens alone, per
Wow.
screen. And
Wow.
$500,000, even for a small theater, is about a couple of $1,000s, about
Mm.
50,000 above, to just even have a small theater to rent it out, you know. And so we had to find the barriers, and I said, it's not just about attaining one, it's
Right.
about maintaining it as
Right.
well
Exactly.
to keep it going. The land, so we were more or less that was that was the conversation with this particular client, and her whole thing was I saw okay, we need to change certain things around, and we need to see the whole big picture of where you would like to be and where you are now. You
Right.
know, and if I have conversation like there, Frank, the genius at work, Frank Pisani. Okay, he's Frank Pisani is a genius. He is a musical genius. Not many, if you didn't know who if people don't know who he is, think about Zephyr's Pond. Zephyr's Pond is actually this is what we're kind of deliberating and talking about right now because this man went to Juilliard,
Mm.
okay, and and he had an exceptional project that was one of those projects that was successful creatively in its own right. But here's the thing: 15 years and he hasn't made 1 cent off of it. No, he's made money. He's made money off it. He's actually packed theaters, but
Mm.
hasn't made it to this project to go on like the other projects he's had on HBO and Showtime and Cinemax and so forth. All of these awards and accolades that he had from all of his other projects. But the thing is like most genius creatives, they have all this genius based on their talent and their genius for it and their aptitude for it, but they just don't have the patience for business.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say,
know,
yeah.
it's
Wow.
there's so much friction there. I couldn't even get him to do the the assessment, because he's so wired, he's so good,
Right,
he's
right.
spectacular. His music on his website for Superspot and his own website is just amazing piece of
Wow.
work. But
Oh,
he said, Yolanda, I feel like I'm over my head. I need,
probably.
you know what I mean? So there is a need for people to go through an audit to get that health checkup, to come into the office, go and get in from, to someone to give them that stethoscope, listen to the heartbeat, take a deep
Right,
breath,
right.
exhale, and really see the world map. Get that world map created for their projects, their business, for anything. It really is good for most businesses, but this is particularly a huge niche for the creative world, the creative aspect, the business, the industry. So
Okay.
I like to define it. Um, so most creative professionals, right? Most creative professionals, whether they're podcasters, right, like us,
Right.
or filmmakers or consultants, we aren't looking in a, we aren't looking, we're just lacking in brilliant ideas. We're not lacking in brilliant ideas. There's they're failing because the messy execution and strategic chaos.
Yeah.
Like brilliant geniuses like Frank. I'm like, Frank, you're amazing. My goodness, why aren't you a millionaire? And we often think this way when we hear about the great legends in the industries and if different industries like actors,
Right.
and
Right.
singer songwriters that pass away, and they don't have their
Yeah.
memory stays in our minds, but sometimes they default with the millions and billions of revenue, that they could not create for themselves. you know
Mm.
Another one is a gentleman that actually started everything for a lot of comedians, a
Okay.
lot of comedians. Mark Cooper. Okay,
Okay.
Mark
Yeah.
Cooper. Okay, so Mark Cooper is he a genius? This man paved the way
Yeah, he
for
did.
a lot of comedians. Whoopi Goldberg, she still hasn't gathered her award yet. Her award is just sitting there. It's a big old, award trophy. She hasn't gathered it yet. But this man started from ground up, and I love that he's so honest about how he started the whole thing. He
Yeah.
funded it himself. He gathered $8,000 to start the, his association for African American comedians himself.
Okay.
Himself. He didn't get investors. He didn't. It just he got
That's
it on his own. And now, you know, yes, he gets high level interviews, one on one interviews on BET, Black Entertainment Television, as we know it, and
right.
other shows. But he doesn't have. But the man works. He works hard. He still works 9 to 5.
Yes.
You know, but where's the man's flowers? Where is this man's millions of dollars? That's
Exactly.
owed to him, more revenue. He gets, don't get me wrong, he does a lot of events. He gets a lot of he's very popular from the people that really know and respect him. Absolutely. Man's great. Genius. Genius. But still, we have to go back to the master plan, the master audit that starts everything.
I agree. Okay,
You know,
so let me ask you this. So you give an audit, and it doesn't matter what industry or whatever
Mhm.
they're interested in. Your audit is able to cover every background. Is that what you're saying?
It can be used for any background. So that's what the Scrum Master. What they do, they go in, they understand the business structure, and they're there to remove the obstacles
Yes.
and to do the health checkup. you know,
Right.
and say, okay, this is what you need to do to remove these obstacles, to remove all of these elements
Yes.
that was created, all the build up, and remove that. And now, so that you can breathe again, you can walk again, you can run a marathon now, because we've already spot all of the weaknesses in your body, in your business.
Mhm.
That's what we go and do. And the project manager lays out the plans. It's just like building a home. It's just like building a beautiful
Right.
church, right? A cathedral. You know, it's they have to create a map. They have to test out the soil to make sure it's strong enough for you to build that building that you want to build.
Right.
And
Right.
they have to lay out that they have to have that blueprint first. You know, in order to get things, in order to get the investments, in order to get the investments funding, in order to get the parts that they're needing, they have to lay out that blueprint. And that's what I do. That's what my team does. My team is a hard team. I do 1099s because it's a small. We're a boutique, but what we do is very much so. Is sought after because everyone can really needs to come and get that health checkup.
So after you do the audit, then and create the blueprint, or what's the process?
So this is what I do. Some people just want to get the blueprint. That's fine. They want to go, and as soon as as soon as they're able to get that blueprint, but we first have to ask very thorough questions.
Right.
It's just like when you go in, the doctor's going to ask you serious questions. What's going on, is to find out, is it the diet? Is it the environment? What is causing you to, your body to fail, or feel like it's failing. And
Right.
then once we get they got to take x-rays, they have to, put a thermometer, look at the tonsils. We have to do all of these things and ask all of these questions, so that therefore we can composite it. And we do a meeting. We have another call, at their choice, Zoom, Google, Google
Okay.
Meets. And then we deliberate over the blueprint if they so choose to. But either way, we have to have that communication. And I have been in this industry for quite some time, for about over 20 something years.
Wow.
And I have heard it, heard it from filmmakers, independent filmmakers, saying we need funding. That's where it hurts. They need the funding, but why are we not getting the funding?
Right.
What is the shortcomings here? Why are we not getting shows? What's halting my music career? What is good? So we've got to go, and we got to really make use of having an analysis created, an
Yeah.
assessment. We have to get that assessment, and once we get that assessment, we go and deliberate the audit. And how long does it take to do the audit? It all depends on the project or the business, or the business goals. And then we go and we do a complete analysis. And once we do that, we start to build out that filled out the master audit. They can get they get the master audit that we laid out. We talk through the audit and find,
Yes.
so we can say, okay, this is where the holes are at. This is why
Right.
you got weak soil here. You've got, you've got a hole next to, next to the backyard that needs to be filled. Okay. you know you might need to come in and get another checkup in the next 2 years, and this is what is holding up your home improvement. This is what's holding up, your body from healing. That's why you're plateau. This is why you can't build muscle. So,
That part.
so we go through all that in the meeting, and if they say, okay, thank you so much for the blueprint, I really appreciate it, that that we've done the master audit. Now I can see
Right.
my, not only my strengths, but where the weaknesses are, so I can start to heal it, fill up those holes, deliberate with my team, or grow with myself, with, with my bookkeeper, wherever, because it could be financial, it could be anything. Some people can see that, okay, well, I met with a young lady. She was a talented gamer, a grad, that's creating an amazing game. And
Okay.
she had a team, but she didn't have the funding. And I, as we talked it over, she just poured out. Some people just go into the doctor's office and they just tell you all kind of ailments. So she
Right.
was giving all the elements, in one sitting. And I said, well, it sounds like, well, she said, I don't know which structure we need, and we don't have an EIM right now. And so I said, well, that sounds okay. That tells me that there's a foundation problem. The soil is not complete. The soil is not healthy. You need to play down we need to put on, the sod down so we can grow some grass, and
Right.
and put down some, some miracle grow, and, so we can plant some, some real flourishing flowers in your garden. So, and so we can get the holes filled, so you can see it with your team, how you
Yes.
can build it out, and start making progress. As I told my one of my clients, that was starting the Christian theater, she was already talking about, hey, you want to partner with me? Hey, I said, wait a minute, wait. Let's slow down.
Right.
It's just like, you're excited. You feel like, you decided to see the doctor, and everything. You're excited that you're going to start a business, or start a new health plan, but you don't have the soil down first. You got to get the foundation.
Excuse
You know,
me.
you
Exactly.
yeah, and and I said, "Well, let's slow down. Let's get the foundation healed. Let's heal the foundation first, and then once you got that going, then we can go on to the other part of the, other part of the,
Yeah.
the other side of your house here, and then build that,
That's
and
it.
heal that part, because we have some, because so that we have really, so we can strengthen up your weakness, we can strengthen your immune system. So
Mhm.
therefore, you don't have any asthma. The asthma's gone. You can
Right.
breathe, and
That's true.
you know, and
Yes.
feel like, your body's strong now. Your body's strong now. You can compete. Now you go in the ring and feel like you might win. Or you're gonna win. You're gonna win
Exactly.
because you're
Exactly.
healed. You're healed and you're stronger now. You'd already filled up all the elements that was making you plateau. Now you're strong enough to compete now. You know.
And I think this is really great. So you're offering this package where you will assess them and audit them for $149. Is that correct?
To
Yeah.
all that's listening to the podcast, and to your podcast, your amazing podcast. Yeah, you have so many amazing guests that come on the show and really give, a really great examples of what they do, and how and why they're trailblazers, why they
Yeah.
are,
Yes.
and we need more podcasts like yours, but only you
Thank you.
can hit the lead the way, because see, I can tell you're healthy. You don't need, I think you've already built that foundation. Now
Almost done.
you're ready to run a marathon. Now you ready. That's why you're running
Okay.
marathons.
A
You know.
couple of them.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
No,
yes,
you
but
got how
I
you can
love
do it.
it. Yes, I love what I do, and I see that you love what you do. All of this passion behind your voice, behind your thunder, is definitely genuine, and I appreciate you sharing it with us and the audience. And I really appreciate this conversation that we've had. So, how can people find you so they can take advantage of this amazing offer?
They can, well, I'm on LinkedIn
Okay.
and I'm also on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. So they just need to look up your name, Yolanda Nollie, Nollie. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. And I usually pop up first on Google
That's good.
because I have a unique background. They say I'm multifaceted because of all the things that I've helped in and I've done. I'm an experienced entrepreneur. I've
Definitely.
ran businesses. I've worked with people like Tommy Morgan Jr. Helped him with
Okay.
his helped him with having merchandise for his business. Also worked with Love Seeds that's out there in Las Vegas. We actually filled out his launch party with all kinds of merchandise because I have another company called Master Prints and Design, and even had a shout out from Seals himself. I didn't know he was even watching, but
That's
he was
cool.
watching. He said, "Well, I would, but I've got my own merch." He doesn't
Well,
need it. Obviously he doesn't need a checkup. He's already ran enough
okay.
marathons and got all the health checkups that he needs and
Right.
everything. He's good.
Well,
you
I, I
you know
really I really love this. So I would love for you to come back in a couple of months so we can have an update with what's going on because you have a lot going on, but it sounds like a lot of fun and you're able to help the clients gain clarity, which is ideal for entrepreneurs and business owners. So I want
Yeah,
to commend you for that. And, thank you for stepping up to the plate and standing in your calling and helping these businesses because that's a great thing because it's a lot of businesses that struggle and that's the key that audit. So you really hit the pin on the nail on the head, so to speak. So I really appreciate you. I would love for you to come back and thank you so much for being here tonight.
it's been an absolute pleasure, and be sure everyone to check out Podfest. I will be at Podfest doing a Pekachuka, a Pecha Kucha, sorry, which is Japanese for chit chat. So if you're in Orlando, Florida, on January 15th, that's when I will be and giving my Peka Kucha talk. So.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. All right, you all. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. You can feel her sincerity, and she is just so genuine. And she definitely is someone that's full of the knowledge to help you and your business soar. So make sure you check out Yolanda Nollie. And for those that aren't able to see the video, it is spelled Yolanda, Yolanda, and Nollie, Nollie. Dr. Yolanda Nollie. Check her out on LinkedIn, Instagram, and follow up with me and let me know how it went. So, again, I want to thank you all for being a part of Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie. And until the next time, stay powerful, stay present, and stay prayerful. Peace.